What is the law of the burnt offering? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Leviticus on Walking Through the Bible. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to Leviticus chapter 6. We're going to be reading from verses 8 to 13. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Leviticus chapter 6, beginning of verse 8. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth upon the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning on it. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen trousers he shall put on his body, and take up the ashes of the burnt offering, which the fire has consumed on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. Then he shall take off his garments, put on other garments, and carry the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. And the fire on the altar shall be kept burning on it, it shall not be put out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burnt offering in order on it, and he shall burn on it the fat of the peace offerings. A fire shall always be burning on the altar, it shall never go out. In chapter 1 of Leviticus, we read of the burnt offering that was offered by the people of their own free will. If you recall, they were to offer an animal either from the flock or from the herd, and if they couldn't afford such, from the birds. The blood of the animal was to be sprinkled around the altar of burnt offering. The animal would then be prepared properly by the person who brought the sacrifice, and then burned on the altar by the priest. So at first glance, what we have here in chapter 6 might appear to be further instructions about those offerings. But that presents a problem. For in chapter 1, the offering would be made when the person who brought the sacrifice was there. While here we're talking about the burnt offering being on the altar all night. Why the difference? Because we're talking about a different burnt offering. Specifically, what would be known as the evening sacrifice. We discussed this sacrifice in our study of Exodus. In order to refresh our memories, let's reread Exodus 29, 38 to 46. Now this is what you shall offer on the altar. 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight. With the 1 lamb shall be 1/10 of an ephah of flour, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. And the other lamb you shall offer at twilight, and you shall offer with it the grain offering and the drink offering, as is in the morning, for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations, at the door of the tabernacle of meeting before the Lord, where I will meet you to speak with you. And there I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. So I will consecrate the tabernacle of meeting and the altar. I will also consecrate both Aaron and his sons to minister to me as priests. I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. It is very easy to forget that passage in Exodus, as it is in between all of the instructions for the building of the tabernacle of meeting, as well as the priestly garments. But it is this sacrifice that is referenced here in Leviticus 6. The altar of burnt offering was to always be burning, even overnight. If the lamb that was offered for the evening sacrifice was placed on the altar all at once, then it would not be burning all night. So by necessary inference then, this sacrifice must have been offered in stages throughout the night, and some of the priests were thus required to do the night shift, as we would say today. The morning sacrifice might also be offered in this way. However, during the day, other sacrifices from the people would be offered on the altar too, so such wouldn't always be necessary. This was the law of the burnt offering. All of the burning of the wood, plus the animals from the sacrifices, though, would produce ashes, and these ashes would build up, making the altar unusable. Thus, there was a process for removing the ashes that God established. The priest would be in his priestly garments that were described in Exodus, and would go and remove the ashes from the altar and place them beside the altar, which according to Leviticus 1:16 was located on the east side of the altar of burnt offering. When the ashes would need to be removed from there, the priest would remove his holy priestly garments, put on other garments, and take the ashes outside the camp to a clean place where the ashes could be disposed of. The fire on the altar of burnt offering, as we said earlier, was always to be kept burning, even during the night, with the exception of when the tabernacle was being moved from place to place during the children of Israel's travel to Canaan. Numbers 4:13 and 14 would confirm this. With that, our time is up for today. Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Leviticus chapter 6, verses 14 to 23, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.